are composed of 4 members. So the question that is given for us is choose 3 invention from your assignment and connect it to calculator. Since we are 4 in this group, or 4 members in this group, we decided to have 4 inventions so that everyone can present. The first thing that we were going to do is to define this 4 invention. So let's proceed.
Pascal's calculator, or Pascaline, also called arithmetic machine. The first calculator or adding machine to be produced in any quantity and actually used, the Pascaline, was designed and built by the French mathematician, philosopher Blaise Pascal between 1642 and 1644. The inspiration for Pascal's calculator was his frustration with the laborious nature of arithmetical calculations his father had to perform as the supervisor of taxes and rent. The Pascaline soon became well known in France and abroad. The first public description was in 1652 in the newspaper Muse History. The machine was demonstrated to the public in Paris. Pascaline. In 1642, Blaise Pascal created a device that could perform arithmetic operations with just 2 numbers. His machine comprised of geared wheels that could add and subtract numbers directly and also multiply and divide them by repetition. The key part of his machine was its carry mechanism that adds 1 to 9 on one dial. When the dial is turned to reach 0, the next dial is able to carry the 1, so on and so forth. His innovation made each digit independent of the state of the others, which enabled multiple carries to rapidly cascade from one digit to another regardless of the machine's capacity. The image of Pascaline calculator.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuhu. I am Omar Kian Iulang Kaya. The topic is Napier's bones. Napier's bones, also called Napier's rods, are number rods which can be used to perform the multiplication of any number by a number 2 to 9 by placing bones corresponding to the multiplier on the left side and the bones corresponding to the digit of the multiplicand next it to the right. And the product can be read up simply by adding pairs of numbers with appropriate carries as needed in the row determined by a multiplier. There are 10 bones corresponding to the digits 0 to 9 and a special 11th bone that is used to represent the multiplier. The multiplier bone is simply a list of the digit 1 to 9 arranged vertically downward. The remainder of the bones each have a digit written in the top square with the multiplication table for the digit written downward, with the digit split by a diagonal line going from the lower left to the upper right. In practice, multiple sets of bones were needed for the multiplication of numbers containing repeated digits. Set of Napier's bones made in boxwood case by John Napier, the inventor of Napier's bones, and discovered logarithms. Also created the popular creating tool known as Napier's cylindrical rods or Napier's bones. Reduce multiplication to a sequence of simple additions and could be also used for division to calculate square root.
Abacus is a Latin word that has its origin in the Greek words abax or abakan, meaning table or tablet, which in turn possibly originated from the Semitic word abak, meaning sand. The abacus is one of many types of counting devices which are used to count large numbers. It be used for adding, subtracting it with some cleverness, multiplying one number up to million or so, and so it could be considered mathematical tools for calculation.
On the left-hand side, the decimal categories are explicitly written out in numerals 1, 10, 100, 1000, and etc., making it clear to the children what quantities each Y represents. Moreover, the left hand used three shades of gray, which group together the different family of decimal categories. The simple family, unit, tens, hundreds. The thousands family, units of thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. And the million family, units of millions, and we could continue with tens of millions and hundreds of millions. By moving them from one side to the other, the user can quickly keep track of any unit numbers between 1 and 10. Furthermore, the coloring of beads is not random and is not merely to be inviting. The colors repeat in groups of 3 in order to emphasize the repetition of the units, tens, hundreds pattern within each decimal family. The abacus was the first purpose-built device for counting yet discovered with the exception of the counting board.
Curta is a small mechanical calculator developed by Kurt Hertzstark. It is a small hand-crank mechanical calculator designed in 1930s but introduced as late as 1948. It has an extremely compact design, a small cylinder that fits in the palm of the hand. It can be used to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and with more difficulty, square roots, and other operations. Actually, Curta was the first smallest pocket calculator that was being invented on that time. Parts of Curta. First is the decimal marker, carriage position numbering, setting register, decimal marker, operating handle, clearing lever, carriage position indicator arrow, setting dial, setting knobs. And the circle that you can see is the upper part of the Curta. So this is the counter or quotient dial. To add a number to the result counter, the crank must be pushed in position and the digit setting knobs moved to their appropriate position. The crank is then turned clockwise one full rotation. To perform a subtraction, the crank must be in pulled out position and turned on clockwise one full rotation. Multiplication can be performed by successive additions. A turn counter records the numbers of the turns. Rapid multiplication can be performed by lifting and rotating the carriage through the various powers of 10. For example, 4018 times 298 can be rapidly computed by entering 4018 via the knobs, rotating the carriage to the hundreds position and performing 3 addition turns. Followed by rotating the carriage to the ones position and performing 2 subtraction turns. Division can be performed by successive subtraction or successive approximation to multiplication. The current design is based on step-cylinder mechanism invented by mathematician Gottfried Leibniz in the late 1600s. After defining the 4 inventions, did you guys understand it? If yes, just thumbs up. What we're going to do now is to connect this 4 invention to calculator. So the question is very confusing. Why? Because the question is choose 3 inventions from your assignment and connect it to calculator. When in the first place, our assignment before is the history of calculator. which is the origin of calculator. So why would I connect this invention of calculator to calculator? So it is very confusing, but we will find ways to how to understand this philosophical question. To connect this four invention of calculator to calculator, we must first define the calculator and its uses. We will also identify the uses of this four invention so we can identify their similarity in terms of their uses. Their similarity will be their connection. In general, we define calculator as a device that performs arithmetic operations on numbers. The simplest calculators can do only addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. More sophisticated calculators can handle exponential operations, roots, logarithms, trigonometric functions, and hyperbolic functions. And now let's identify the uses of the four inventions. First is the Pascal's calculator. Pascal's calculator is used for multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction, while the Napier's bone is used for square root, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. And the abacus is used for adding, subtracting, and with some cleverness, multiplying whole numbers up to the millions. And last is the curta is used to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and with more difficulty, square roots and other operations. After defining and identifying the calculator and the uses of four inventions, did you guys notice their similarity? Yes, you're right. They are similar in terms of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and the other can do square roots, right? So that's their connection. And another thing is there are devices or instruments that is used for computation, and that is a part of their connection. So I hope you understand what have we discussed. So thank you.